In Lakesh, in Lakesh, in Lakesh. It is a Mayan saying that means we are all a reflection of each other. Since yesterday, I've been privileged to listen to many diverse intersecting stories of pain, courage, success, and love. I know in my heart that this is family. This is family. Growing up in the Philippines, the LGBT community is the first family outside of my blood family that showed me love. When I was 5 years old, I would always wear this t-shirt in my head. And I remember my mom would ask me, how come you always wear that t-shirt in your head? I told my mom, Mom, this is my hair. I am a girl. At that moment, I self-identify. I knew at that moment that the pursuit of the authentic self-expression is the most powerful gift to the world. When I was in elementary school, I remember I would walk home from school and somehow the men, tuk-tuk tricycle drivers, would somehow feel entitled to scream at me. Bakla! Spoken in that tone, that Tagalog word is an equivalent of the F word. When I was 17 years old, I got a phone call from my mom who had moved to the United States. She told me that my green card petition came through and I could now move to the United States. She told me that in California, there is a law that would allow me to change my name and gender marker on my legal documents. That was my dream. Looking at that ID that reflected who I really am changed my life. It made me feel validated and dignified. Because of that ID that reflected who I really am, I was able to pursue my dream to become a model in New York City in 2005. I took a risk. That was my dream. I had a big dream. On that same year, I was traveling from New York to Tokyo. I was stopped by the immigration officials. They asked me, how come this document doesn't match? I had a Philippine passport that had a male name and gender marker. I felt humiliated. I was interrogated. As much as it was a dehumanizing experience in my life, I asked myself, what can I do to change this? So last year, after giving a TED Talk, I launched Gender Proud, so that I hope maybe someday people, all people, will be allowed to fully self-identify. After launching Gender Proud, I've been really privileged to travel the world. I met so many different communities. I met Disney Aguila from the Philippines, from the trans-deaf communities who are courageously living their truth. I met Eliana Rubaichkin, who is a transgender refugee. I met people that's been rejected by their family, but somehow found the courage to continue in living. I met a lot of homeless transgender youth. I met so many people and I've asked them, what is their dream? I want to use this space, I want to honor this moment to the people who had come before me. Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Miss Major, and many others who fought injustice and spoke truth to power. I also want to reflect on our rich, historical, gender-fluid, diverse in Asia and Pacific. I think of Guan Yin. I think of Bahuchara Mata. I think of the Babaylan in the Philippines, Two Spirits, Fafafini. Somehow, I just wanna claim that space of gender fluidity. I think I wanna end my remark by sharing an experience on a recent travel I had in India. I was speaking in a conference just like this, and somebody asked me, what is the advantage of being transgender? I was surprised by that question. Took me a little bit, but I answered, despite all the pain, I have a sense of compassion to the world that's been led to believe that gender is binary and all the suffering that comes with that. Since the beginning of this year in the United States, transgender women are killed every 29 hours. I think of this transgender teen named Lila Alcorn. She's a transgender teen from Ohio who committed suicide. She said in her suicide note that gender should be taught in schools. The true meaning of gender. The earlier, the better. I look forward to the world who would finally see the truth that gender is a spectrum of beauty. Because I know in my heart, firsthand, that as long as you pursue your truth, you'll never, ever go wrong. In Lakesh. Thank you very much.